So we are done now with our view model, which was pretty much the last piece. So now we're ready to use a view model where it's appropriate and hopefully save something to our database, and then hopefully also retrieve that something in our user interface, in our composables. So the idea is very simple. When we add a new city, what will happen is we want to add a heart icon, as you see, like that at the top there in our app bar. And then when they save, users click on that app icon, or rather they click on the heart, that will trigger to say that we want to save this city, right, into our database, into our favorites database or table. Okay, that's the idea. Which means then when we go back into our favorites, right, when we show, let's see here real quick. When we go back and click on our favorites drop-down menu there, we're going to be looking at, be able to see this favorite added, that city that we just added, showing here, where we're going to be able to delete that favorite city if we need to do so. And also when we click that favorite, we want to go back to our main screen and retrieve the data, the information, the weather information about that city. So that is the structure we're going to be putting together here. So that means then we have to go back, of course, to our app bar, weather app bar, and add this structure here. That's very simple. Of course, we've seen that before. Let's go to our app bar. I don't see it from here. It's okay. Let's go to main. I think it's much easier. Main screen. And then there's our bar. Let's click on that. Okay. So that means then in our app bar here, what we're going to do is I'm going to pass after our nav controller, I'm going to pass the view model. So I'm going to say view model. Let's say favorite view model like this. That's much better. And I'm going to go ahead and instantiate right away. So it's going to be hilt view model as such. Okay. Now the beauty, because it's instantiated like this, that means whatever we call this weather app, I don't have to pass it along, right? Notice that if we save this, everywhere that it's called, I don't feel, or there is no need for us to pass that along or even call it, right? Because it's instantiated here. That way it's fine. So we can actually use inside here, inside of our weather app bar. We have to remember that this only shows on main screen. That means, because we know that our weather app bar was created so that it's customizable, meaning we can use it anywhere we want by customizing a few things here and there. If you scroll down, you'll see that we have a place where we check if it's main screen. Here we go. If it's main screen, that's actually where we want to show this heart icon. So let's go ahead and look where we're going to position this icon there. So back to our weather app bar. Let's scroll down until we find where it says navigation icon. So we have an if statement here. If there's an icon, it's not null, then we're going to add some sort of an icon there. So what I'm going to do after this if statement there, of course, I'm going to create another if statement here because I want to check, say a few things. First of all, this has to happen if is main. So I'm going to say is main is true. We're on the main screen. This is the only place I want this to happen, right? To have this this icon there, the heart icon, favorite icon. So I'm going to check if that's true. Okay. If that's true, then I'm going to show the icons. I'm going to say icon, image painter. I'm going to say icons, default, and I want the favorite. I can use border, that's fine. And this is going to be favorite icon for our description. Right? Okay, we can also pass a modifier here to modify things along. clip. We're going to scale. Let's go ahead and scale this to 0.9 f like this. And I also want to make this clickable because you know we need that so we can save, right? Let's see. And for now, that's fine. Let's go ahead and run real quick so we can see if that logic actually is going to give us what we're looking for. It's been a while since we open or run this app, so let's see. All right, it ran fine, and there it is, that very nice heart icon, as you see there. Okay, that looks good. Now, the reason why you see that we have, it's a little bit different actually from this, is because I'm using something different here. So here I can actually change, instead of border, I can just say favorite. If you want to be exactly like what we have here, if you just put favorite like this, and of course I will have to okay, it's there. That's the color, but we can change also the tint colors. If you have over, after a modifier, we can pass a tint. So right there, I can say tint color. I can say color.red, and I'm going to copy, just change the alpha channel here to about 0.6 f. Okay, let's one more time real quick so we can see how this will work or look. Okay, now it looks similar, exactly like this. Either way, whatever you want, that's totally fine. I'm just going to show you a few options there, and you make the decision. Okay, there we go. Now, once we have the structure and we have the clickable event there where we can, when we click, something needs to happen. What is that we want to happen? Well, we want to insert into our favorite class, into our favorite table entity, we want to insert two things, right? We want to insert the city and the country. How do we do that? Well, look how simple this is. Because we're passing along our favorite view model, I can just use our favorite view model here. So favorite view model, I can say dot and invoke the insert favorite and pass a favorite object. Well, I can create the favorite object right now here, and the favorite object needs two parameters, two arguments. First one is the city. How do I get the city? Well, here's the thing. To get the city, we have access to our city. The great thing is that we have the city sitting there, no pun intended, because this is the title that we get, which is the city and, of course, the country. So this is going to serve us really well because remember, we have access to it. It's here as a title that we'll be passing around, right? This title there and so forth. So really what we can do, we can split this city into two things. One is the city name, and the second part is going to be the country code. Ah, look at that. We're using our smarts for good. Okay. So back here, what I'm going to do, well, I'm going to use title and say split like this. I'm going to split from where we have comma, right? Split from where we have that comma there. And once we do that, what I want to do is I want to get the first item from our comma, right? So in this case, I'm just getting San Diego, right? And then the next, which is going to be country, right? This is, remember, we're inside of our favorite instantiator's favorite object there. For our country here, I'm going to pass again title, say split, do the same thing. Actually, I don't even have to split anymore. What I can do, look at this. We are programmers, so we can I can just extract this so we can reuse it. Sort factor. Extract that. There we go. You can see. Now it says city, right? And I can go further to say, instead of getting just the city, I'm just going to split. It's going to be, in this case, data list. Call it there, because this is going to be when we split something, right? We're going to have an array, right? So we're going to have an array that will have index 0, the city. Index 1 is going to be the country code. So I'm going to just use that. Now data list and get the 0 part. And for the country, I'm going to data list and get the second part of the array. Right? So this is going to be city name, country code. And we have it. Is this true? Well, let's test it out. See if this works. I'm going to save this. Let's run. Okay, there we go. I'm going to click here. Click. Hopefully San Diego was indeed saved. And I'm going to open Logcat. And you can see that first it was empty, our faves. And now we have favorite. We have an actual object, San Diego, country, USA. Right? Remember this, we added that into, I believe, our view model. Is that true? Yes. Well, we got faves. It's giving a list, the value that we have in our list, which in this case, a list containing a favorite object, in this case, San Diego as city and country, USA. So it's working. If I go somewhere else and search for Seattle, and here I'm going to click, and you will see that now, country, we have San Diego, right, in faves, and for another favorite, we have Seattle and the country USA. If I decide perhaps just to be more inclusive, Moscow. Okay, let's save. It's saved, and you can see now it's getting the information from our database because we can, because we actually are saving something. So Moscow, city, country, Russia. Wonderful! It's working! Yay! Okay. Wow, a lot of work for little reward. No, I'm kidding. This is a huge thing, and we were able to put the infrastructure from the beginning together, right? We started slow, small, the first structure here, room database, DAO, SQLite entity and everything, and then we moved on to creating repository and view model, and now we are here, kind of, really, in a way, in that we are able to save things to our database, and if we can save things to our database, that means we are able to retrieve those things, in this case, our favorite list of cities and so forth. Okay, so the main goal is going to be to show then in our favorites this, what we have here, right? So that's what we're going to be doing next. We're going to go back and look at our favorite composable or screen and start putting together this structure.